Hey, how's it going, everybody? It's me, Scott. Thank you very much for joining us. As you can see, we're going to dive into a new game, some Hollywood Animal. I'm looking forward to trying this. I just need to turn the mic volume down a little bit. Then I need to go and check the audio, so I will be right back. I think we sound okay. I do need to turn the gain down a little bit, but the music is pretty loud. And a bit hectic. And I'm going to sneeze, I think. It's a good start. I think I'm going to sneeze in your ears any second now. Okay, we'll hold off sneezing as best we can. Let's jump over to the live screen so we can see what we're looking at. Can't really hear anything now. Let's try and turn this up a little bit. It's very quiet if it's playing at all. Okay. So Hollywood Animal, look, there was a warning that came up before this game started that said we're going to be covering some topics that aren't too pleasant, racism, bigotry, those sort of things. Obviously all of those things were prominent in the, well, they still are today ultimately, but they were obviously accepted as part of culture in those times, especially in the 1920s, 30s, etc., which is when this game is set. So we're going to be dealing with some sensitive subjects. So just bear that in mind as we dive into it. Let's start a new game. I will say I have had my eyes on this game for a very long time. I did download the demo. I played it for about an hour, and I was of the view that I don't really want to play too much of it and spoil it. So I didn't. Let's dive in. And we'll make sure everything is good, and then we'll go. Right, here we go. Now, I think the first bit of this game, from what I recall of the demo, is it's very much on rails. We're going to have to do as we're told for quite a while before we can actually start really making decisions that affect our studio. But until then, we'll just do as we're told, like a good boy. 1929, the hedonism of the 20s gave way to the Great Depression. Oh, there's a continue button, whoops. The advent of the talkies heralded the golden age of Hollywood. Life gives way to cinema. It's a John Woo film. Film companies fiercely compete for market and influence. The strong devour the weak. Holy moly. There's a spider on the loose. There's rats eating rats. Whatever next? And just a little bunny. It looks like it's got 3 ears though. Bit weird. Okay. You purchase a bankrupt studio to build a new business on its ruins. Okay, just while we've got some music, I'm just going to quickly check the audio. We'll see how we sound right now. Okay, just while we've got some music, I'm just going to quickly check. Okay, I think we're pretty good. We need a name, so I guess we'll be SDG Studios Inc. Okay, good, nice. We need a little logo here. An elephant. None of these are going to be a dog, right? What are we going to do? How can you have a raccoon and not a dog? I mean, that's almost a dog, right? That's a dog, sort of, right? Okay, great. There we go. Okay. Movies are not only made by actors and directors. Your studio... Hold on 1 second. Oh. Your studio... your film studio also employs people who quietly keep the machine running behind the scenes. What are their names? I'm not going to change any of the names here. We're just going to stick with the defaults, especially if if this fella's going to be a racist or something along those lines. Don't want to name a subscriber and then find out they're a gambling drug addict who's a racist, and in the game they're the same. Right. Along with the studio grounds, you received the footage of an unfinished film. Filming was completed, but it was never edited. You'll need to complete this picture. What was this movie? Blind Love, Limpin' Luke, or Messenger of Death? 60% detective, 40% thriller. Do we want to go for a rom-com? Do we want to go for a western? Do we want to go Messenger of Death? Let's go Messenger of Death. Just because it sounds cool and it looks cool. Look at this. One gloomy morning, 7 Quentin bounty prisoners stunned the guards, snuck into a warehouse and escaped the prison hidden in a truck. Most of the fugitives were serving for theft and assault, but one of them was a true menace. Detective film, de genre detective and thriller, and setting modern America. Okay. If the text or any other details on screen are too small, click the mouse wheel to zoom. Well, that's pretty cool. Okay. I am old, so that might be useful. Prison Break. Okay. Themes and events, Prison Break. Antagonist. Serial killer. Played by Nick Crow. Played by Edward Peterson. Okay. Prisoner's name is Nick Crow, but the papers called him the Courier. He brought flowers to young women and then killed them. After 5 murders, the police captured the Courier on a lucky break, but they were never able to determine his motives. The maniac's first victim was his own fiancée, but the choice of the rest of the girls seemed random. The very next day after the escape, the Courier had already returned to his old ways. Dressed like a messenger, he delivered flowers to young Rita Peterson. Oh no. Oh no. Young Rita Peterson then stabbed her to death. Bill Zeman, Rita's fiancé, returned from work that evening to find his beloved dead on the floor, as his own desperate screams echoed through the neighborhood. Serial killer. Okay. Protagonist, detective, Joe Duval. Harry Burroughs. Bill had little faith in the local police, so he hired a private investigator, Harry Burroughs. Harry was a young man, but he had sharp wits and a keen mind, enough to solve dozens of difficult cases and even earn him a reputation as a genius. Rita and I just got engaged, Bill Zeman offered helplessly as Harry examined the crime scene. Police had already taken away the body, and the bouquet of roses still remained on the living room floor. Compliments of the Courier. Detective. Okay. Supporting characters. Sidekick. Harry looked around the house and talked to the neighbours, but he couldn't catch a lead. He decided to contact Kathy Watts, a journalist who'd covered the Courier murders in detail. Kathy came right away, carrying a hefty file. She got right to the point. After the previous murders, I talked to Crow's friends and learned about a cheap old shack he acquired long ago. It's past the city limits heading north. I told the police about the place when they arrested Crow 2 years ago, but they just brushed me off. They figured the case was already closed. Bessie Peterson and Patterson, plays Kathy Watts and is a sidekick. Okay. Search for a killer. Harry and Kathy hit the road, and soon enough they found the right house. It was a broken down hut, obviously unsuitable to live in. But our heroes then saw a man in the front of the house locking the door. As Harry's car approached, the stranger took off running towards the woods. Harry drew his gun and leapt from the car, but the man was already gone. We scared him off. Let's have a look inside. With that, Harry kicked down the door. The shack was practically empty. A carved wooden box drew Harry and Kathy's attention. Inside were 6 diamond rings. Trophies. Holy crap, I'd watch this, you know. Rita Peterson was recently engaged, and the courier was engaged to the first victim. What about the rest of the girls? Harry asked. Kathy flipped through the documents in her folder. Interesting, all the victims were soon to get married. Harry and Kathy trawled recent newspapers looking for engagement announcements. But I'm just going to be honest, if no one made the connection that all of these people were engaged and that all of their engagement rings had been taken, and that was the only thing, I feel like someone's missing something in the police force here. Two couples surfaced, Rita and Bill, a tragedy already familiar to us, and a certain Sandy Wicks and her fiancé Tom. Harry and Kathy visited Sandy, who was happy to speak of yesterday's strange visitor. Yes, some messenger came with a bouquet of roses. No card, no note, just a bouquet. I decided it must be some kind of mistake, and I didn't take the flowers. The messenger just apologized and left. Okay. Harry immediately had a plan. He and Kathy hired a photographer and posed as an engaged couple. They made sure that to capture Harry's rented yellow brick house, the only one in the area. They advertised their engagement in the newspaper, morning edition, and paid an extra $10 to have a photo printed beside the article. At noon the next day, there was a knock at the door. Kathy opened it, and there stood Nick Crow, the courier, smiling nervously in the doorway with a bouquet of roses. This is from a secret admirer. Kathy feigned delight and took the bouquet and ran to put it in a vase, leaving the door wide open. The courier stepped inside the house, pulled out his knife and raised it, and then felt a pistol at his temple. Harry's pistol. Antagonist gets punished. The courier grew wild. You don't understand. 2 years ago I was supposed to marry my dear Rachel. When she suddenly starts receiving anonymous bouquets, I became jealous, but she just laughed and accepted the flowers, no matter how many or how secret they might be. 1 week later, I caught her in some jerk's car. All these animals are the same. First they say it's only flowers, and then they break your heart. They deserve to be punished. The courier won't be delivering any more flowers this time. He was sentenced to the electric chair. Harry added another win to his list of cases, and Kathy wrote a book on the courier. She called it Messenger of Death. I tell you what, that's not a bad film, in all honesty. Not a bad film at all. And these ratings clearly show that, right? 7.9. This shows the movie's commercial appeal. The higher it is, the more easily a film will succeed with a general audience. Popcorn, okay. This shows the movie's artistic appeal. The higher it is, the more recognition we can expect from sophisticated audience. Who cares about them? Just give me action and stuff. Maurice Fox. A film's commercial appeal may change after each stage of development. The film Messenger of Death received these ratings after work on the script was completed. The screenwriter Maurice Fox loves detective stories. Thanks to his experience and talent, the investigation turned out to be suspenseful and intriguing. The story's elements came together to form a coherent whole. Okay, favourite genre detective. His loyalty is 78. His happiness is 46. I'm guessing this is just his skill, not necessarily his skill at detective films. Okay. Oh, it went up even higher. What? After pre-production, film ratings rose even higher. Casting famous actors is the surest way to boost commercial and artistic appeal. But other factors also influence the ratings, including quality, scenery, and modern equipment. Joe Duvall has popped his clogs. After the production phase, the film's commercial appeal declined. The lead actor became seriously ill. He couldn't fight and looked too thin. However, the film's artistic appeal grew. Joe Duvall tried to make up for his lack of physique with the subtlety of his acting. Production problems were reflected in the lengthened schedule. Unfortunately, the actor passed away after finishing the work on the film. Joe Duvall was an 8.4, 7.7, 7.8. I'm guessing all of these are all good actors, right? And good people. We're not going to have that to begin with. Producer was Dewey Sanders. Director was Herman Watson. Everyone's over a 7. Okay. This is how much money the studio has spent on this picture. This isn't the final budget, as work on the film is not yet complete. This is how the creators of Messenger of Death imagine their potential audience. When you start shooting your own pictures, you'll identify your own audiences. Messenger of Death is a subtle psychological thriller with a dark atmosphere and engaging dialogue. The film's audience are adult men and women, people who enjoy a serious tone and an intricate plot. Here we go. Time to send the footage to post-production. Click on the movie card. I can do that. I can do that. Assign employees to handle editing and scoring. At present, the studio's personnel are not the most qualified, but over time their skills will grow. Okay, 3.6 and 2.7. So you're not the happiest with this, and you're not the most loyal, but Emma Berry is a 3.6, you're a 2.7, and an alcoholic. Emma, you're in. Congratulations. You are a racist, okay, which means we're giving it to Lee Woods. Congratulations, Lee. Right, we also need to decide who will develop the film and record the music and sound effects. Outside contractors are always ready to step in. Okay, sound recording. We can take quality. Let's go with a medium quality stuff, right? I know it's more expensive, but if it's going to be a good film, we may as well make it the best film we can. 37 days, 36k. Okay. You plan out post-production, but until you assign a department head, you won't be able to get things moving. To hire new employees, first appoint an executive to the HR department. I can't believe that would be the first role we're hiring. They're all useless. Okay, HR people. So, seniority. The executive speeds up upgrades by 3% at no cost because they're level 3. I see. You're level 3 and you're level 1. So you're really cheap for what you do, right? In comparison to these two, why are you so much cheaper? You've got to have problems, right? 373 versus 4,900. Thanks. We can't click on them to see any more detail, I don't think. Hire post-production head. Hire a distribution head. Okay, that's not what we wanted, right? How do I get out of this screen? Up here? Okay. Hire a head. So we've got level 3 over here, $2,000. Level 3 here, $1,000. They've got these things. This department head can use money to speed up upgrades. And this department head can use influence points. Okay. Ronnie Gibson, I think you might be in. You're pretty much on a par with this dude. You've got this split, so maybe that's good. I don't know. 1,444. And over here, you're $235, but you're really, really rubbish. You're really cheap, but you're really rubbish. Let's take Ronnie Gibson. Okay. Post-production has begun. Here you can see how far along the project is and how quickly it's progressing. Okay. I can employ people. Okay, we'll come back to that. Head of department over here. This is the head of distribution. Search by salary. Adar Schusterman is a level 2. You're a level 3 and you're only $900 and you seem pretty happy with everything in life. As are you and you're $800. Why would I take you and not you? You're in. Congrats, buddy. Okay, we got 91 cinema as well. Okay, hire a head of maintenance. Come on in. Leo Brady, Jasper Fields, or Calvin Schneider. Level 2, 3,600. Level 1 and level 1. I'm taking you. You're $169. Come on, Leo, in you come. That's probably not a bad choice. It's probably fine. It's probably fine. Build a script department. Okay, I can do that. It's time to start working on a new movie. First, build a script department. Okay. Script department. I'm guessing we use these other areas to upgrade. So let's put it here. Developers, we can spend 160k, get it in 45 days, but it'll only be 50%. Let's do the big one. Let's do the big one. Do the big expensive one. We've got $7 million. Can I build anything else? No. You can speed up or slow down the passage of time. Okay, well, we should probably speed it up then, I guess. We can see how this is coming along on these two tracks. Let's do that. What does this button do? Nothing? Okay, I can't do anything with any of the other people, I don't think. 61 days. This is still going along. Hold on, there's news. After 5 weeks and a take of 93k at the box office. Okay, so it's telling us about other films, not ours. We haven't released anything yet. I'm not sure. I'm not sold on this music. Oh, okay, so these are all the films coming out. Okay. This is almost done. This has still got half its time still to go. Johnny Payne. I got divorced this is our financial executive. I got divorced a couple of years ago and I figured I was out of chances until I met Gilda. We spend all our time together. We can't get enough of each other. It's always like at the beginning, but we've been together a year now. We're like a drug to each other. I feel guilty even mentioning it, but when Gilda visits me at work, I absolutely cannot concentrate. She enraptures me. Yesterday, I nearly made a mistake in the paperwork that could have cost the studio a lot of money. Please do me a favor. Help me fight this addiction. Let's introduce some kind of access control so Gilda can't just walk into my office. Yes, my heart will be broken, but like any drug addict. But I'd hate to hurt your business and ruin my career. I mean, he seems like a genuine guy, and she's hot. Although they've both got little bracelets on, look. Hold on. Are they sitting on the floor? What are her legs doing up here? Is this a desk? This looks like a desk. What are her legs doing? Are they her legs? Wow. I mean, she's that flexible. You should get her in the office more often, mate. Sure, we'll start controlling access. Are you crazy? Enjoy it while you can, yeah. Enjoy yourself. We're done. We're done. Ready. Okay. Now what happens? Spend at this stage is 36k, adding to the 430k that we'd already spent. Oh dear. Oh dear. That's not ideal. The film's commercial and artistic ratings dropped a bit, but don't be upset. You did everything you could. Your studio still has low-level employees and technology. Okay, 6.1 and a 7.6. Ronnie Gibson gained some experience, as did Herman and Emma and Lee. Perfect. None of them leveled up. Select a poster. I mean, this one's the poster, right? I mean, this one's pretty good, but this one's the poster. I like these. These are pretty cool. Messenger of Death. The release calendar displays all the films being shown across America for the foreseeable future. The studio's previous owners already chose a release date for this film. You'll choose the release date of the next film yourself. You don't just own a studio, but a whole network of 91 cinemas. You can run your films in the cinemas for free. That's not going to be enough to reach a wide audience. You'll have to rent other theatres if you want a solid box office receipts. Okay. The studio's previous owner already arranged this and paid the film's rental costs. In this first week, the film was scheduled to be shown 7,185 times. Some 3,185 of these screenings will take place in our cinemas, leaving 4,000 screenings across other cinemas. Next time, you'll have to plan for this and pay the rental costs yourself. Okay, so we maxed out everything. The screenings and rentals are scheduled over 4 weeks from the release, but once they expire, you can extend your rentals. If you think the film can still make a profit. They'll start printing the film tomorrow and will be finished and ready for distribution in 5 weeks. Distribution goes out all at once when they're finished printing. Printing speed and cost vary by contractor. The studio's previous owners already paid to have this film printed. Okay. Well, this feels a bit intense. And now we're getting ready, right? Typically, a film begins promotion of a few weeks before the premiere, so advertising has time to gain momentum. The studio's previous owners already arranged the advertising campaign, but in the future you'll decide it yourself. So this started in February and we're releasing in March. Okay. So about a month. Your film has been promoted by an advertising agency. It's time to tell them the audience they should target. For adults, we know who this is for. The studio's premium owners, yeah, we pay for promotion. After that, you'll have to arrange your advertising yourself. Yeah, we hear you. For adults. Not like that. Perfect. Okay. Audiences will soon be watching your first film. Perfect. Look at this. Messenger of Death. I love that. So good. Okay. Now what? We've got to wait for this to happen. Can I do anything else? Alan Ferber. You asked me, Messenger of Death is a surefire hit. A farewell film by a young star. The story has soul, but it will all go to waste unless it's released at the right moment. The studio's film owners were mindful of these things. They scheduled production carefully and chose a good window for releasing the film, right when the public would be hungry and when there's practically no competition. But when the old studio closed its doors, those parasites from Margins Pictures decided Messenger of Death would never see the light of day. I don't know who was pulling their strings, but they convinced all their theatre owners to give them our slots. The film The Margins are released instead doesn't even have a title yet, but you know what kind of slop they serve their audience. Probably something like Yesterday's Fart or Wet Armpits. I might consider watching both of those as well. The truth is on our side. We have all the documents, but a court battle would be a long, pointless one. We'll miss the moment and no compensation will cover that. Instead, I suggest we use all our connections, all our influence, and remind the theatre owners that our agreements have to be honoured. Agreed. Let's let them know that a deal is a deal. Or no, we better keep our heads down. We're new to the business. We'll start rolling 3 weeks later. No, we're gonna take the aggression, right? You can spend influence points IP to advance your interests and solve problems in various and often unconventional ways. Okay, so now we've got influence points, we've got reputation, and we've got our money over here. I don't think we can build anything else. Nope. So I think we just got to wait for this to finish. 34 days, and then we're getting closer to our release. When was it? It was like, oops, it was here, and we're here. So the 25th of March is when it's coming out. So exactly a month. I think we just got to wait for our thing to get built. Leo Brady. Construction of the script department is going according to plan so far, but there's a small snag. According to the architect's vision, a large red leaf maple should be the central decorative element. The contractors found a suitable tree in a reserve on the border between Ontario and Minnesota, and they already agreed on a price and transportation, but the inspector who issues the permit is playing coy. He says he can't see how long the paperwork will take, maybe a week, can't say how long the paperwork will take, maybe a week, maybe a month or two. You know as well as I do, sometimes to grease the gears, $200 cash and the tree will be on the road. We'll take it. I mean, we can't have the architect's vision not being fulfilled. When an issue needs to be resolved quickly and discreetly, the funds in the studio's bank account can be useless. When this situation gets tricky, cash is king. So we've got some cash. How do we get more cash? I have to open like laundrettes? Start some money laundering. Construction complete. Screenwriters turn ideas into screenplays. Hire a head for this department. So they're all level 1 apart from you. You've got an upgrade. Why wouldn't I take Edward Cox? He's a higher level. I'm going to guess we're going to find out all of these people that we're hiring on the cheap are all like racists and stuff. Favorite genres. We've got a detective writer, so we'll take that. We'll take a comedy. And we'll take a historical. No. Drama? Drama. Thriller. We'll take thriller because we know these two work together, right? The screenwriting writers remain in the studio. What are their names? We're happy keeping their names. To begin work on any scripts, select the script department building. I can do that. Okay. The department worked up several ideas for the first script. Choose any idea you like and the screenwriter will develop it into a full screenplay. Okay, an action modern city cop film or a detective modern city American night? I think we'll go with this one then, if they're the choices. So this is a protagonist, it's action. Is that we haven't got anyone who does any of those things. You're the worst. I'm going to get you on this. Hold on. You're lazy, you're a gambler, and you're a racist. Okay. Continuing the development of your film studio's key, your success pick an upgrade from the department. Okay. Freelancer's office. Oh, no matter who is working in your script department, no one knows better than what you need than to be successful. Okay, so this is a story workshop. Some improvements take a while. Department heads will in time learn to speed up the process, so it's wise to hold on to your experienced employees. Click upgrade. Okay, so we can speed this up, but spending all of that doesn't really help. So, okay, 50 days. Not that long to wait, to be fair. Can we upgrade the other departments? Oh, we got to build some more. So we've got some screenwriters. Is there any that we can actually hire? These guys are terrible. This guy's conceited. This guy's lazy. This guy's conceited. This guy's a gambler. They've all got something wrong with them. Everybody. Cheerful. Can we hire this dude? Oh, he's already working somewhere else, I think. Okay, we'll come back to employees. So let's just pause for a second. Build a production department. Where are we going to build this? Should we put production along the back here, maybe? Let's do that. We'll do the middle one. Start at 75%. So that's that. And a pre-production. Okay. Is there anything else we can build? Building. Oh, hold on. We've got something else. Security. Let's start construction on security. Can we put you somewhere? We can put you over here. We can put you out of the way over here as well. We'll do that. I'm just going to build everything I can currently build. Engineering. We'll tuck you behind security. There was something else, right? Producer's office. Squeeze you in over here. Okay, and then we've got upgrades to do from the looks of things. Okay, let's do them by the building, I think. Might be easier to figure out what we're doing. So this is the maintenance department. I can medium landscaping. I can get a water tower. I can get a repair crew. Since we're building everything at 50%, maybe we should do that. These look like they're going to take forever. But I guess using some of those points will speed these up. I guess that's just going to save us money. Let's get a repair crew. Okay. So that's you guys done. We can get an upgrade over here. Marketing and outreach. Now it said our advertising is going to stop after a few films. So I think it makes sense for us to get this.